Hey guys, it's Chelsa Messenger with Picks and Parlays. We're talking college hoops, Providence and Villanova. It may be cold outside, but our promo code is HOT for 20% off the entire site at picksandparlays.net. Villanova favored minus 10.5. The total is now 140. Both of those have gone up with Villanova, I think, opening at 10 and the total opening at 138.5. We've got Providence, who's 8-6 on the year, 7-7 against the number. Nova's 9-1, 6-4 against the spread, and Providence, of course, coming off that huge outright win on the road over Creighton as 10.5-point underdogs, 74-70. So they're probably going to be a trendy dog in this one, especially with double digits, even though this is a really solid Villanova team. We've got Craig Trapp with us. Craig, who do you like in this battle between the trendy dog and the team that's just flat out really good?
Well, Villanova's really good, like you said, but Villanova had that month break because of COVID. I mean, they played on December 23rd at Marquette, got an impressive win by 17. Then they don't play again until the 19th, so earlier this week. And they barely beat Seton Hall. They were an 8.5-point favorite, only won by 2. That one was in question right to the end. And like you said, coming off a huge win at Creighton, a lot of people probably will be looking at Providence and maybe think, maybe they'll, have a overlooked spot. But I don't think anybody in this conference overlooks Villanova. I mean, Jay Wright and Villanova have been the king of this conference for 4, 5, 6 years, really probably longer than that. But since the Big East realigned, I guess we should say. But I think Providence gives all they have. I think this is going to be a really close game again. I think the Villanova team is basically in season 2 because they basically had, 3 weeks off. So I just don't think you're going to see Villanova's best for another couple games until they get back into shape, back into that form that we saw right before they had to take a break. So I like Providence getting all the points, and I also think the overs are probably pretty good play. Providence has been pretty good on the overs this year. 9 out of 14 games have gone over for Providence, and I think Villanova will score a little better this game than they did last game when they had to kind of have a slow start shooting, which could be expected since the layoff.
Yeah, and some notable trends to kind of go along with that. Villanova has had 4 straight overs and 3-0 to the over at home. Meanwhile, Providence 5-1 to the over away. And also, it should be noted that Villanova, yeah, they're good, but they haven't been that great at covering double-digit spreads or just big spreads in general. When favored by at least 9, they've only covered in 3 games out of their last 10 or out of their last 7, excuse me. So I think that's what we're talking about here is this big number when we're talking about college basketball, that you need to really blow out a team if you're going to cover that large of a spread. Any other thoughts you have before we wrap this one up?
Well, you also think the Big East, we've seen some humongous upsets. Heck, in college basketball this year. And I think it's because you don't have the home fans, so teams that are, like this in this spot, 9, 10, 11-point underdogs, or favorites at home get beat outright, including Iowa earlier this week, losing by 11, 12-point favorites. So I think Providence is a live underdog, but take the points. It's almost too good to be true, but I'm still going to stick with Providence because I do think Villanova is going to have a little rough start for the next few games until they get their legs back under them.
All right, well, that's going to do it for our college hoops talk here on Picks and Parlays. Great stuff from Craig Trapp. As always, Craig, thanks for joining us.